Hello, everybody. I was sitting there thinking, and then I thought I'd get up and check this out. But this is about Daniel. Who was Daniel in the Bible? Of course, I know, who Daniel is and stuff like that, but I just have something to add here. Um, we can read about the life of Daniel in his own writings in the book of Daniel and also in Ezekiel 14, verse 14, and 20, and 23, or chapter 23, verse 3. There are some striking similarities between the life of Daniel and that of Jacob's son, Joseph. Both of them prospered in foreign lands after interpreting dreams for the rulers, and both were elevated to high office as a result of faithfulness to God. After Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, besieged Jerusalem, he chose noble men from from Israel's royal household, who were handsome and showed an aptitude for learning, to be trained in the ways of the Babylonians. After their 3 years training, they would be put into the king's service. Daniel, whose names means God is my judge, and his 3 countrymen from Judea were chosen and given new names. Daniel became Belshazzar, while Hananiah, Michael, and Azariah became Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. I learned them at school. The Babylonians most likely gave them new names that were completely disassociated with the Hebrew roots, to hasten Daniel and his friends' assimilation into the Babylonian culture. Daniel and his compatriots proved to be the wisest of all the trainees, and at the end of their training, they entered the service of King Nebuchadnezzar. Daniel's first sign of faithfulness to God was when he and his 3 friends rejected the rich food and wine from the king's table because they deemed it a defilement and became vegetarian. As their health improved, they were permitted to continue with their chosen diet. In their education, the 4 men from Judah became knowledgeable in all Babylonian matters, and Daniel was given by God the ability to understand dreams and visions of all kinds. In the second year of reign, Nebuchadnezzar was troubled with a dream that he could not interpret. Beyond interpretation, Nebuchadnezzar commanded his magicians, enchanters, sorcerers, and astrologers to also describe his dream. These men were willing to try to interpret the dream of Nebuchadnezzar, first told them what it was, but they said that revealing the dream itself was an impossible task for humans. The king decreed that all the wise men, including Daniel and his companions, must be put to death. However, after Daniel sought God in prayer, the mystery of the king's dream was revealed to Daniel, and he was taken to the king to interpret. Daniel immediately attributed his ability to interpret dreams to the one true God. The key feature of the dream was that one day there will be a kingdom set up by God that will be forever, and that God's kingdom will destroy all previous mankind kingdoms. For his wisdom, Daniel was honored by King Nebuchadnezzar and placed in authority over the wise men of Babylon. At Daniel's request, his 3 countrymen were also placed in position of authority as administrators of Babylon. Later, King Nebuchadnezzar had another dream, and again Daniel was able to interpret it. The king acknowledged that Daniel had the spirit of the Holy God within him. Daniel's interpretation of the dream was correct. After experiencing a period of insanity, Nebuchadnezzar was restored to health, and he raised and honored Daniel's God as the Most High. Nebuchadnezzar's son Belshazzar became the new king, and during a banquet he ordered the gold and silver goblets that had been stolen from the holy temple in Jerusalem to be brought out for use in response to the defilement of such holy items. Belshazzar sees a handwriting on the wall. His astrologers are unable to assist him in the translation, and so Daniel is called upon to interpret the writing. As a reward for interpreting the writing, Daniel was promoted by King Belshazzar to the 3rd highest position in the Babylonian kingdom. That night, as Daniel had prophesied, the king was slain in battle, and his kingdom was taken over by the Persian Cyrus the Great and Darius the Mede. he was made king. Under the new ruler, Daniel excelled in his duties as one of the administrators to such a degree that King Darius was contemplating making him head over all the kingdom. This infuriated the other administrators so much that they looked for a way to bring Daniel down. They could find no wrongdoing on Daniel's part, so they focused on the matter of Daniel's religion, using flattery, and administrators coaxed Darius into issuing a decree forbidding prayers to any god other than the king for the next 30 days. The penalty for disobedience was to be thrown into the lion's den. Daniel disobeyed the edict, of course, and continued to pray openly to the true God. As Daniel made no attempt to hide his activity, he was seen praying and arrested. With much regret, King gave the order for Daniel to be thrown into the lion's den, but not without a prayer that Daniel's God would rescue him. The next day, when Daniel was found alive and well, he told the king that God had sent an angel to shut the lion's mouths, and so he had remained unharmed. The miracles resulted in King Darius sending out a decree that all his subjects were to worship the God of Daniel. Daniel continued to prosper throughout King David's reign. Daniel is also well known for the prophetic dreams and visions God gave him, recorded in the book of Daniel. Daniel's prophecies cover a broad range of human history, as he predicted the rise and fall of Greek and Roman empires, and the rise of the powerful king who will do as he pleases. He will exalt and magnify himself above every god, and will say unheard of things against the God of gods. Daniel's 70 weeks prophecy spoke of a Messiah who would be killed. We saw the prophecies fulfilled with Jesus. The remainder of the prophecies, the 70th week, will be fulfilled in the end times. Daniel had other apocalyptic visions, as well as understanding the prophecies important to eschatology. Daniel exercised great integrity and in doing so, received the respect and affection of the powerful rulers. He served, however, his honesty and loyalty to his masters never led him to compromise his faith in the one true God, rather than it being an obstacle to his success. Daniel's continual devotion to God brought to him the admiration of unbelievers in the circle. When delivering his interpretations, was quick to give God credit for his ability to do so. Daniel's integrity as a man of God gained him favor with the secular world, yet he refused to compromise his faith in God, even under the intimidation of kings and rulers. Daniel remained steadfast in his commitment to God. Daniel also teaches us that no matter whom we are dealing with, no matter whom or no matter what their status is, we are to treat them with compassion. See how concerned he was when delivering the interpretation of Nebuchadnezzar's second dream. As Christians, we are called to obey the rulers and authorities that God has put in place, treating them with respect and compassion. However, as we see from Daniel's example, obeying God's law must always take precedence over obeying men. As a result of devotion, Daniel found favor with men and with God. Notice also in those verses what the angel Gabriel told Daniel about how swiftly the answer to his prayer was dispatched. This shows us how ready the Lord is to hear the prayers of his people. Daniel's strength lay in the devotion to prayer and is a lesson a lesson for us all. It is not just in the bad times, but on a daily basis that we must come to God in prayer. This is what I was really looking for, but then I chose to do that. But that gives you a story about Daniel. This is Daniel 12. And this is the English Standard Version, and I hope those people out there, Mandela people, don't think, oh my God, I don't understand reading that dang other book there. But I'd like to tell you, I've read the King James Version, and the words are the same. At that time shall arise Michael, the great prince, who has charge of your people, and there shall be a time of trouble such as never has been since there was a nation, till that time. Now, a lot of people, not picking on Mike, like God Sea Warrior, but a nation is a people. A nation is, um, like the Israelites. That's a nation. So it doesn't mean a country. It's just a nation. But at that time, your people shall be delivered, every one whose name shall be found written in the book. And many of those who sleep in the dust of the earth shall awake. Now, this is where I think they're talking about the rapture, which I think this sounds a lot like when Jesus came. And when you're baptized, that's what you do. You're being born again. From the old way to the new way. You're being born again, so you're raised up. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's what I think. I don't know. And many of those who sleep in the dust of the earth shall awake. Some to everlasting life, and some to shame and everlasting contempt. And those who are wise shall shine like the brightness of the sky above, and those who turn away or turn many to righteousness, like the stars forever and ever. But you, Daniel, shut up the words and seal the book until the time of the end. Many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall increase. Then I, Daniel, looked, and behold, two others stood, one on this bank of the stream, and the one on that bank of the stream. It's weird how they. And someone said, someone said to the men clothed in a linen, who was above the waters of the stream, how long shall it be till the end of these wonders? And I heard the man clothed in linen, who was above the waters of the stream. He raised his right hand and his left hand toward heaven, and swore by him who lives forever that it would be for a time, times and a half a time, and that when the shattering of the power of the holy people comes to an end, all these things would be finished. I heard, but I did not understand. Then I said, O my Lord, that shall be the outcome of these things. He said, Go your way, Daniel, for the words are shut up and sealed until the time of the end. Many purify themselves and make themselves white and be refined, but the wicked shall act wickedly, and none of the wicked shall understand, but those who are wise shall understand. And from the time that the regular burnt offering is taken away, and the abomination that makes desolation sets up, there shall be 1,290 days. Blessed is he who waits and arrives at the 1,335 days, but go your way till the end, and you shall rest and shall stand in your allotted place at the end of the days. But yeah, I was thinking about a lot of things, but Machine Monkey, he knows what he's talking about. But it bothers me when people condemn other people for doing something. They're so worried about everybody else, but they need to worry about themselves. Stop worrying about everybody else, and don't be backbiting just like a snake, slithering around. But I thought that was interesting, and that came to my mind tonight. So I wanted to share that with you about the rapture and what I believe he was talking about there with the nations and stuff. But, not putting anybody down or saying anybody's wrong. I'm just giving my opinion. And, it's opinion. So, but I believe it to be so. And I'd like to say God bless everybody. With everything going on today in this world, we need a lot of prayers. And so many people are fooled. They're so fooled and so blind. And I think a lot had to do with the face shield and stuff like that. But God bless everybody and keep safe. Stay in prayer. God be with you. Love and peace. Thanks for watching.